This is Gabriel Gonzalez for Cage Side Press, and I am here with Vanessa Lil Monster Demopoulos, who'll be taking on Cynthia Arceo on Friday, March 26th at LFA 103. Vanessa, first fight of 2021. Talk to me. How are you feeling? How's camp going? All that good stuff.
Man, I didn't even think about it that this is the first fight for me of 2021. Like, yeah, that's super awesome. I feel great. Camp is going amazing right now. My weight cut's going good. My coaches are happy. I'm happy. Um, I know that like I usually always seem happy, but I am, a solid 90% of the time. And that's a good place to be. So,
So I want to go back a little bit. So obviously you had a very busy 2021. You had that back-to-back in 3 weeks, win the LFA title, Contender Series. You came back in the fall, had another 5-round battle. So you've been very busy. So I guess after you have a year like that, this is a bit of time off. Obviously, when you've had a busy schedule, how did you just I guess the regrouping process, because obviously you go back to the gym, you have a lot of coaches and training partners to talk to improve on the last year. So, what has that been like the last few months?
I think it's been more about addition, what can I add? What do I need to add to my game? Because I did come off of 2 losses in a row. I went to the Contender Series right after winning the title belt, and going into a fight after a 4-round war, I mean, I did have a few injuries that I probably should have nursed and didn't. And then going into the title fight very soon after that, I think it was what, like a month, like maybe 4 weeks solid. And it was a lot, and then having that full 5-round battle, which was an amazing fucking war right there. It was more about like, what do I need to add? What am I lacking right now? And how can I adjust that? I definitely was never defeated. It was just more of a overall perspective of like, how can I improve on what I was already growing?
Now, I want to ask because I do know you personally, so I do want to pull back the curtain a little bit. So I do notice a few things that maybe other people won't. One of the biggest
Uh-huh.
things is that your last few fights, I know that you are big on splitting your time between Southern California and Los Angeles and being in Las Vegas. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have not been doing as much of the travel lately. Am I right about that?
Yeah, you are correct about that. Good catch. Good catch, Gabriel. I have not been going to Las Vegas recently at all. And it's not, I guess it is more of just like, I am really locked in. I'm very focused. Las Vegas for me, I was working out there, and I had like everyone, like a lot of my friends were out there. And right now I'm just like, man, like this is my life, and I take myself very seriously. And people who are my friends and they love me and they're in my life, they're going to understand that this is the path that I'm choosing. And it's been really good. I've really improved a lot. I've grown a lot since niching my focus and not traveling as much across the country every other week.
And I want to bring up, I think it's significant because for people who don't know, you don't just go party, Friday through Sunday in Vegas. You actually, at the time, you also had a residence there. Like you have the paperwork and everything. Correct me if I'm wrong, but for people who may not know this, you live in an influencer house in Vegas with Johnny Walker and some other social media personalities. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah, the whole Manboy Mafia was out there, and yes, it was an influencer mansion, and I'm still welcome to live there anytime I go to Vegas. So, it's like I have a little residence there, and that's nice. It's very comforting, and everyone there is very loving and very awesome. But they also know that I'm on a mission right now. So they love that I'm focusing on myself, so then that way we can all have fun together with better spirits.
Well, I think it's important to the story because it's like, well, what's she doing differently? It's like, well, this is an entire part of her life that she's kind of stepped away from to focus on her training. In terms of that, with this camp, are you still doing the same thing, splitting your time between Black House and Sixton's Muay Thai?
Yes, yes. I'm at Saxon's Muay Thai. I'm at Black House. I'm at Jackrabbit Boxing, and I'm at One Jiu Jitsu with Jiva Santana.
And I guess when you talk about this camp, are you changing anything up, bringing different coaches to the corner? Have you been working with any new training partners for this one?
I've been working with Jackrabbit Boxing a lot, and they've been a really awesome addition to my training. And I've got a lot of new training partners. Actually, we have a heck of a good female crew going on between Saxons and Black House, and it's like I just get all of the best girls to train with, and we're all right around the same size. So, and we're all killers. We're all pro fighters, and it's really good. All of us have fights coming up, so it's been some amazing training recently.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but at Black House, you have quite a few guys and girls, or at least for the guys that I know of, getting ready for fights. I know Gregory Rodriguez, he's got one coming up. Miguel Jacob, I think he has one coming up also. So just, I know Black House, people don't talk about it, but it really is one of those teams, kind of like American Top Team. Everyone's always got fights coming out of there for a lot of these shows. Just what's it like to have so many members of the crew kind of getting ready and peaking at the same time?
Yeah, it's like so we kind of always know when someone's gonna have a fight coming up because like Kenny will start to get a little bit more intense, because he wants to make sure that we're all getting it in. But when everyone's always in rotation of having a fight coming up, it's like we're all always in fight camp because just because you're the one who's fighting, like after you fight, you still have to show up because the next person's got a fight coming up. So it's like they were training partners for you. Now you got to be training partners for them. So it's like we're just always training, always training. Like there is, I don't think I've ever had like off season. Like I've never had an off season. Like I've always been in camp. It's just a matter of like, what's the intensity level and am I cutting weight or not?
I want to go back a little bit more because obviously with your big 2020, I mean, you had, I've said it, I gave you submission of the year. Yes, Habib was nice with the triangle, and yes, Mackenzie Dern and some of the girls had great knee bars, but fourth round, inverted triangle, come home with the win, rally, victory from the jaws of defeat, all that good stuff. That's a big deal. And I did see you get the shine for it. Once again, Contender Series, I have so many people suddenly discovering you, and then the videos are coming up because suddenly I'm seeing people like my video that I posted with you because they're learning about you. Um, After all that, and then a 5 round war, like you said. So I guess how has your public profile grown? Because I'm assuming you've had a lot more, attention. You've had a lot more interview requests and just fans and viewers really wanting to get to know you and get a hold of you.
Man, this is a really interesting question because it's a really fucking crazy time for me right now. I was getting a lot of publicity and I was getting a lot of followers, a lot of fans, and then all of a sudden, boom, my Instagram is disabled, right? Because of some really awesome drama that I was having with Dylan Dennis. And it's my fault. I'll take accountability for why my account got disabled. But it's like you really see who has your back in times like this. It's like now I don't feel like I have the same fan base that I did, and it doesn't matter because I'm always who I am. But it goes to show me the people that really actually were there, and the people who really cared. And you get to see who your true friends are once all the clout goes away, and once all that dust settles. So it's almost like this really amazing, freeing refreshment that I didn't know that I needed. And I'm so grateful for because I'll get my account back. And no matter what, like I'm going to continue to climb. I'm going to continue to win. I'm going to continue to grow. And it's good to like know who's really got your back and know where your roots should be and where they actually stand. So yeah, good question.
Well, I'm glad you like it. So to shift gears a little, actually, before I move on, and we talk about this a lot, you've done a lot of different stuff. You're an author, you've taught the classes, you're obviously a fighter, you're obviously very big on social media, pre-cancer, account removed and all that, and now you are building your account back up. I think people who follow you can see that. I got a question because leading up to it, I feel like that was something a lot of people talked about. She's a stripper and an author, and oh, she's kicking butt in the LFA and Contender Series. You've stepped away from it before Contender Series. You now have a brand new account. are there fans who are realizing, wait, you used to be a stripper? Like, are there new people discovering this about you?
Not that I've noticed. Not that I've noticed, and I think it's because I've always been so public about both of them. But I have kind of stepped away from that image a little bit, like I still like, and I said this, I think in one of our old interviews or at some point, but it's like I do love being sexy. I do love being cute. I love being super feminine and all of that. And I'm gonna continue to be that. But like, I think like the whole like stripper, it's like behind me at this point. Like I'm still gonna publish my second book at some point, which was the Stripper Bible for the Public Edition, because I've already written it, and it will be published someday. But I feel like that whole like image of like that is just kind of it's a little behind me now. Like I feel very new. I feel very new.
Let's shift gears. Cynthia Arceo, former King of the Cage champion, has a bit of Invicta experience behind her. Very good opponent. I really like this fight stylistically. What do you think of her and just what she brings to the fight?
Yeah, stylistically, it makes sense. She's a kickboxer. She's not a kickboxer. She's a karate girl. So she's on her feet. Um, she's got great cardio, and I know that she's strong. So I'm very strong, and it's always like interesting to get into the cage with people like that. I'm really looking forward to it. It's like ex champ versus ex champ. Like we've both moved up in our own accords, and now here we are facing each other into the LFA, which I think is a huge upgrade for her. And I don't have a whole lot to say because I am also coming off of my own losses, and I've had to like reevaluate my own camps. So I'm just really excited to get my ass back in there and show myself what I'm made of.
My final question, Vanessa, would be what do you want your 2021 to look like? Because I think a lot of people would assume, well, you really want that other shot at the big show again. Maybe you want to get a couple of wins going into that, really build up your record back up. Just what are your 2021 goals?
Yeah, I'm looking to fight this fight on March 26th. Nothing else matters after that. I will be in the UFC by the end of the year. That's a thing. I'm working towards that, and but nothing matters if the 26th doesn't come through. So I just have to go out there and be the best version of myself that I can be, and I think I can do that. Like I never not show up. It's just sometimes I run out of time, but I'm really fucking looking forward to the 26th.
Well, I mean, it's always a very fun show. Real quick to close it out, where can fans follow you now? Because your old handle was canceled. What's the new handle where everyone can follow you and get those numbers back up?
Still Little Monster Demo. I'm at Lil Monster Demo underscore. So
Underscore now. Okay.
yeah, that's it. It's literally the exact same name. It's just a little underscore after it.